I remember when I first started working with my business coach in 2020. And I didn't first start working with him as a business coach. Actually, I came to him in 2018 looking for emotional release, wanting to know more about manifestation. And I went on the trip of my dreams, a beautiful retreat in Bali. I had no idea how I was going to pay for it. At the time, I was out of work. Well, I wouldn't say out of work, I was 40%. And I was focusing on curing chronic pain due to its chronic nerve pain and chronic depression, chronic anxiety. And also, I want to say chronic shame, right? It was all the things that I was carrying with me from birth and everything that happened to me because of all of that I carried, that I never realized I actually had the power to let it go. And the retreat opened me so much. It triggered my self-healing. It triggered just my whole journey on learning how to heal through food. It strengthened my connection with God, because at that point, I only had faith. I only had faith. I felt like I couldn't trust anyone around me. I felt like everyone just wanted to use me for their benefit. And for the longest time, I felt like that was my purpose, so that people could pour their trash into me, and that I was supposed to hold that. For the longest time, I thought that was my greatest strength, being a dumpster and still smiling, even though I was completely broken and breaking. I thought it was my purpose to always be joyful and optimistic and positive in front of everyone and for everyone, despite the complete darkness I was engulfed in. And so that retreat turned my gifts back on. My spiritual gifts, my clairaudience. It helped me to recognize who I was. My voice came back. My inner child opened up to me. My heart opened. And I then went on about a year's journey of working with Archangel Michael and working with Yeshua. For most of the time, Yeshua was silent, and I worked with Archangel Michael, building my clairaudience and trusting my inner voice. And for that first 6 months of that next year, in 2019, I lost over 100 pounds. And it really wasn't this thing of losing the weight. It was an emotional journey. And that's when I realized I was a psychic empath, and understanding everything I was holding the pain from my parents, holding the pain from my family, holding the pain from my ancestors. We did a lot of past life regression. We did a lot of just allowing ourselves to surrender to the healing journey. And after that 6 months, I really opened, and I started to super shine. And I was spending most of my time in nature and just having Michael tell me where to go, and talking with trees and flowers, grounding, singing, learning about crystals, working with tarot, working with words and understanding what they meant to me and how they were so powerful for me. And I was sharing that part of that journey on Instagram, and I was sharing it through just being inspirational, speaking about what I went through and what I was going through currently, and how it was lifting me up and opening me. And that led me to go on another beautiful journey with this business coach. But remember, at the time, he wasn't my business coach. He was just my mentor. And I started to work with him as a support coach when he was doing his group teaching and healings and trainings and ascensions and things like this. And my gifts really started opening up, and I was realizing that I was an energy healer. In the background, when he was giving his sessions, I would notice that spirit would guide me to certain people, and I could feel their pain, their sadness. I could feel if they needed support to be held, and I would focus my energy on them. And it got to where I did about 3 rounds of being his support coach, and my gifts grew to where during these trainings and things, I was able to support more people, and I was able to really kind of understand what containers were, and just really opening to that. And then I decided I was going to get in contract with him to start my own coaching business, right? I felt like it was time. The one thing he always said to me is, Janice, you are ready, That's what I remember. And it's so funny because when we started working together in that way, he was like, you got to tell your story, and I was like, but I don't want to. Every time I go back to what started me on the self-healing, on the spiritual journey, it makes me sad, and it pulls me back, into that energy. And I don't want to talk about that with anyone anymore. I just want to, in a way, I guess the past is the past. And I didn't realize that it was because I wanted to bury it. I didn't want to dig the grave up. I didn't want to revisit it. And at the time, it didn't click that is the next point of where Spirit was about to bring me, to where he was going to make me dig up every single grave. It was this energy of, we are going to clear it all. If you want to step into your divine destiny of being a pure and clear channel for divine love to flow through you and express through you, that means all of the ditches and the graves and the burials that you were holding, yours or not yours, we got to dig them up. We got to clear the energy. We got to let it go. Holding on to post-traumatic syndrome, and not even understanding that I was and I'm going to say it, a victim of it. I didn't realize that I was still holding on to the stress of when I was, sexually abused as a child. I was still holding on to the stress of even my parents' abuse. I didn't realize that. And then also I was still holding all of the energy that I was holding space for and clearing and allowing myself to kind of absorb it from other people so that they could be freed in the moment during these sessions when I was supporting my business coach, when I was supporting him, that I was holding it all for everyone. And when COVID hit in 2020, 2021, we ended up ending our relationship, right? Our contract. And it hit me so damn hard, which is funny because damn is one of the words he uses so much, right? It hit me so damn hard. And it also had to release a fake twin flame, right? If any of you guys know what that is like, I'm sure you completely understand, right? And it was this time of revelation, and it took me all through COVID to finally understand that I had to stop serving others and I had to finally serve myself. Okay, so during COVID, Like, honestly, I gained almost all the weight back, not all of it, but I gained almost all the weight back because when I was serving, I wasn't doing the clearing work, the releasing work. I didn't understand about how much evil eye, and I didn't understand about spiritual attacks, psychic attacks. I didn't understand any of that. And so from about the end of 2021 into 2022, I had a big hit, right, where I almost lost my daughter, her sister, brother, her stepmom, and her father. And that was my rock bottom, because I was so mad at myself because I didn't receive the signs. I didn't receive the signs of, tell her, don't speak tonight. I didn't receive it. And because I was taking care of my daughter while she was recovering, I had to take off work. So I had a clear and free time of kind of just resting, relaxing, and allowing myself to recalibrate and really understand like who I am and what it means to be me. What it means to serve as my authentic self. And that also means spiritual protection, but it also means cleansing, like, all the time. As soon as I feel something, I have to let it go, whether it is my energy or someone else's, And so that 2023 and all the way up until now, 2024, where we're in this halfway mark, I've been learning about really, really understanding generational curses and unraveling it, undoing it, healing it, releasing the genetic encoding of poverty and victimhood, of abuse and addiction. I have really been, and when I say learning, I don't learn just by hearing. I have to do it. I have to practice it. One of my gifts is being able to see somebody do it, and then I do it. And then I do it until I master it, right? And so we have been on this like cycle of just going through learning something, practicing it, mastering it, and then learning how to serve and to share it when I'm at full strength, right? That has been our thing. Learning how to share and to give from an overflowing cup, but also learning how to give from the energy of unconditional love, which is coming straight from source, And so I have no idea if any of what I just said will help you, support you, inspire you, strengthen you. I don't know. But at this moment in time, I'm no longer afraid to talk about the things that happened to me. I'm no longer afraid to share the experience. But more than that, I'm no longer afraid to teach how I overcame it. I'm no longer afraid, to dive deep, but then to just come up out of that beautiful volcano freed. I'm no longer afraid of it. I'm no longer afraid of what people think of my gifts. They think it's weird, if they think it's demons, the devil. I'm no longer afraid of it. So I no longer hold on to it. And understanding that strengthens me. My ability to release is my greatest strength. My ability to transform is my greatest strength. My ability to love who I am in every moment is my greatest strength. But above all that, my ability to completely let the past go and love it, forgive it, is my greatest strength. And it's yours too. You don't have to live the life that you feel was dealt to you or handed to you. You have the power within you to unchain, unravel, unbind, unblock your energy and come back and align to your authentic truth, to your authentic vibration, your authentic frequency. And you have the power to stand in that light and to share your gifts without shame, blame, or guilt, without fear, without judgment, without procrastination, apprehension, without doubting, uncertainty. You have the power to do all of that. You have the power to intend to be your brightest light, even when you are in the pit of the darkness. Even when you feel there is no hand to hold, there is no sun to see. You have the power to come out of that energy completely whole and complete, connected, strengthened, protected by the highest divine love and light, that pure source energy. So, I hope that this helps you. Yeah, I hope it supports you and it helps you to hold that torch that's been handed to you, right? In whatever light you're in right now, or darkness, whether you're going through your integration period or process, whether you're in this acknowledging of rejecting healing or rejecting positive outcomes because you're so afraid of the unknown, right? Wherever you are right now, if you're experiencing scarcity and you're fighting like hell to just be abundant in mind, body, and spirit, right? Wherever you are right now, I hope that the light within me is seen by you because I see the light in you. I love you. Namaste.